The case that has electrified the U.S. for over 35 years is back. The Menendez brothers, who killed their own parents and took over their vast fortune, were on the verge of being released. But the court decided that they would remain in prison. Their crime is indisputable, but there is more to this story than meets the eye.
Eric and Lyle Menendez.
For over 35 years, this story has been making headlines in American newspapers and television programs. It ignites and divides Americans. Are the Menendez brothers heartless criminals who cold-bloodedly murdered their parents to take over their enormous fortune? Or are they victims of their father, who allegedly sexually abused them for years?
We are very hopeful, but ultimately we are here today with this result because of Eric and Lyle, because they chose to live their lives with clarity and a purpose of service that the judge was impressed by. And so a huge thanks to them, too, for being the kind of people that we could bring home.
This story begins in 1989, but first, let's talk about what happened yesterday. The California Parole Board decided that neither Eric nor Lyle will be released. Both violated prison rules by using smuggled cell phones. Experts also concluded that the older brother, Lyle, is manipulative and does not recognize the consequences of his actions.
Most legal experts I had spoken to before the hearing today had said this was kind of a coin toss of a case. There's been a lot in the news lately, understandably, about the changes in the way people view the Menendez case. There's been more evidence that their father sexually abused both of them.
The Menendez brothers grew up in luxury. Their father, an immigrant from Cuba, made his fortune in the film industry as an independent producer. The boys had everything: a mansion in Beverly Hills, designer clothes, sports cars. One dreamed of a career as a tennis player. The other wanted to try his hand at business.
My mom and my dad.
But they also had another terrifying plan in mind, worth $14.5 million. On August 20th, 36 years ago, late in the evening, they decided to carry it out.
The brothers were convicted in 1996 of killing their parents, Kitty and Jose Menendez, in their Beverly Hills home. The two were only 18 and 21 at the time. It was a case that shocked the nation and continues to draw attention.
They shot their father 6 times and their mother 10 times. The victims tried to defend themselves, fighting for their lives. The perpetrators covered their tracks, got rid of the evidence of the crime, and claimed that someone had broken into the house. But their version of events did not stand the test of time. Eventually, they confessed to the double murder.
In the last few years, there's definitely been a lot more of a public outcry to free the Menendez brothers. I mean, attitudes on criminal justice in general have also changed. People tend to look at a lot more as to why people did things. You know, the initial reaction to this crime, right, was it's 2 rich kids who savagely killed their parents in their living room with shotguns.
I was confused and just afraid.
There was a motive, there was a crime, and there was punishment, life imprisonment. Their trial was one of the first in history to be broadcast live on American television. It was only years later that the brothers told a different version of the events of that night. They killed because their father had abused and sexually exploited them throughout their childhood. Their fairy tale life was just for show, and at home, they were living in hell. The court commuted their life sentences to 50 years imprisonment.
And those facts are still all literally true, but obviously the allegations of sex abuse weren't known at the time. Post-Me Too movement, you know, the way that we view the behaviors and reactions and why people do things they do after being victims of sexual abuse has changed. So there's certainly a more sympathetic audience to the Menendezes out there than there was in 1989. But ultimately, public sympathy doesn't have much role for a parole board.
I saw smoke and blood everywhere.
The story of the Menendez brothers has inspired many filmmakers. The Menendez brothers' case is a ready-made movie script. The sons of a wealthy family kill their parents, and then the whole of America, in fact the whole world, follows their trial. This inspired filmmakers to create many productions on this topic. including the movie Menendez, A Killing in Beverly Hills, and Law & Order, True Crime, which is a TV series, but also many documentaries. I think it's a powerful story that remains relevant today. Was it greed that drove the brothers to commit the crime? Or was it traumatic childhood experiences? Only they know the truth.